So let's dispel some myths. So because you mentioned the word hypnosis, and so I'm sure people are thinking about the hypnosis that they see on some stage and making people cluck like a chicken, which I have witnessed before. There's an application of cognitive behavior therapy and CBT and hypnosis. I'd love for you to define those for everybody so they understand that they have a actual structure and function.
The nice part is cognitive behavioral therapy has so much scientific support. It's one of the most evidence-based psychological treatments out there, if not the. It has a bit of twofold, in my opinion. One one realm of it is that it amplifies the effects of CBT because as you were saying earlier, there's a lot of subconscious things going on in our body. Clinical hypnosis is one of the ways that we can directly access our subconscious. We can go into a state of mind, which is called a trance. And, for people who haven't heard anything about clinical hypnosis, let me tell you, it's very different than stage hypnosis. It's not entertainment. We are not going to ask you to stand up on the table and quack like a duck. We're not going to ask you for your pen on anything. When you're in a trance, you're completely in control of your body and your responses, but you access the state of mind called a trance where that conscious mind that's do 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 and running interference and trying to look at things through logic, it settles down because we're able to calm the mind through the trance. And then we also can access that subconscious pathway to where our body's natural healing can be accessed. So, in gut directed hypnosis, we can magnify the CBT, but we can also incorporate what's called positive suggestions to almost remind the body that it knows how to heal itself. Hypnosis has been shown also 40 years of research shown that it can impact physical health. We're talking about hot flashes. Yay.
Yay.
We're talking about even inflammation or blood flow, pain, blood pressure. A lot of things can be influenced through clinical hypnosis. So that's the combination that we use, not just one or the other, but blending them together.
Yeah, I think it's so fascinating. I've gone through a little bit of hypnosis, and I think, clinical hypnosis, I'd actually you might not find that shocking, but I don't go into a trance state very well. Like,
Okay.
some people's
Yeah.
logical
You
brains
and I
are
are
like,
opposites. I go into it really easily. I
yeah,
didn't
I have
know
a friend
that.
of mine that, like, all they gotta do is start, and she's, like, already there, like, because
Yeah.
because she just immediately. And but I've been through clinical hypnosis, and I think a lot of people are worried, yes, that they're not gonna be aware of what's going on. And it's like, no, you're absolutely aware, but you're also open to suggestion, which allows you to create a new reality for your nervous system. And I think that's the part that people need to understand is you're creating a new reality to let your system sort of rebalance itself.
Mhm.
So
And
so obviously you got into hypnosis and cognitive behavior therapy out of digestive stuff. Did you go through some of that yourself? Because I think a lot of us often do.
yes, and it was a little bit in reverse order. I had already decided to co-found GI psychology, and it sounded like a wonderful adventure and challenge and community need. And, around the same time I delivered my second child, my husband retired from the military, we moved. There's all these stressors and events and excitement. But there was also some structural, kind of trauma after the delivery, and it instigated IBS for me in addition to antibiotic use. I mean, I think it was like a perfect storm situation going on in my body. And so I experienced the journey that many of my patients do where I was looking for the answer. It
Yeah.
didn't make sense. I knew there was something still happening in my body, and I knew of IBS really well. It was one of my favorite things to treat, and yet it didn't click for a while. In fact, I needed to go visit the GI gastroenterologist, and he within 5 minutes was like, "Oh, you have IBS." I didn't receive education or, suggestions on what I could do, but just a diagnosis and a script, and thought, "Oh, this is what everyone's going through. Wow." I knew it intellectually before, but it was an emotional awakening of, "Oh, I get it." Like, how
Yeah.
helpless this can feel. So, although I had already decided to launch GI psychology, that really sealed the deal for me of, I wanna be part of the change so people don't have to keep getting the shrug shoulders or roundabout answers.